to swap with somebody who can't.
Two women.
It's dark.
Can you hear me at the bar? Okay, folks. For those of you that don't know me, my name's John Bennett, and I've worked with Neil for the last 6 years. And it's my absolute privilege to say just a very few words about Neil as he leaves and goes on to the next stage of his life, leaving the police force. I can honestly say it's been an absolute pleasure working with Neil.
Really?
Really?
Glad you think that.
Not some other people don't care. And what I'd like to do is just put into context the time that Neil has been serving the people of London and how long For a start, this building was only in the planning stage. The year that Neil joined the Metropolitan Police Service was the same year that these things happened, and it sort of makes you realise how long he's been doing this job.
Trafalgar.
Ronald Reagan and the Pope, there was an assassination attempt on them. The royal wedding, Charles and Diana.
That wedding.
IBM introduced the first IBM PC, which we're still using in the Met. It was the launch of the very first space shuttle. The first London Marathon. There were riots in Brixton, Toxteth, Moss Side, Southall, and apparently High Wycombe as well. Some things don't change even after 30 years. Peter Sutcliffe was found guilty of being the Yorkshire Ripper. The Green Common Peace Camp was set up and established in the year that Neil joined the job. The bombing of the Chelsea barracks. Bucks Fizz won the Eurovision Song Contest.
Making your mind.
Oh, you should wear your skirt,
Indiana
Neil.
Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So you can see how long Neil has been doing this job.
Is it that long? You
Neil.
crap, it's 30 years later.
So, as a young, fresh-faced PC, Neil left training school and went out to H District, HB, and he served there, and then followed by that 10 years later he served at Havering, looking after the people in those areas for almost 20 years. So there's a lot of people benefiting from your experience, your knowledge.
You sadly can't be here tonight.
You say that.
Surprise, surprise!
All of Avery.
You thought that was the last you saw of him.
Well, I know that Neil really enjoyed his time at those boroughs, probably because of all the skives that he was up to at the time. But after 20 years, they were going to move Neil, and they were going to move him to where he didn't want to be. And so he looked around for some jobs. And he thought, what can I do? And he chose to come up to the training school, the recruit school at Hendon.
Oh, you've retired then.
From my point of view, I think that was an excellent move. Because I'm sure that when Neil joined the police, like everybody else, he wrote his autobiography, and part of that was, what do you...
I'm going to be at the training. And we have got that here.
I would love to have it, but I can't because you know it's up in Derbyshire and
It's on mine. Yeah.
But I'm sure, like everybody else, he put on there that he wanted to serve the people of London, he wanted a job with challenges, and he wanted to help people. And I can honestly say that I don't think Neil, or by the sounds of it, any of you, appreciate how many people Neil has helped and how many lives he's touched over the last 30 years. Because as a PC on the various boroughs that he worked, the various areas that he worked, there's a lot of people out there that have been kept safe or just been looked after by the way that Neil's dealt with them. Certainly at the training school, I know there's an awful lot of members of staff that have benefited from his knowledge, his guidance, and the way that he mentors and brings people on. And because of that, I know there are thousands of police officers out there that have been trained in one way or another by Neil that are now passing that on and looking after the people of London. You got one. So, you know, I've really enjoyed working with Neil over the last 6 years at Hendon. And he's got some fantastic qualities. He's a gifted communicator, he's a gifted trainer, he's a lovely bloke, and he's a true gentleman. And I
How much that cost?
But sadly, that Neil couldn't be here tonight. I'm at the wrong team.
And so I really do wish Neil the very best as he moves on. But one other thing that I'd like to say is over that 30 years, Neil's been able to do what he's done, and he's been able to deal with all the different things that he's dealt with and all the traumas that he's gone through, and that wouldn't be possible without the support of Pat, his wife, and obviously his lovely family, Stephanie, Rachel and Chris. So can you please join with me and show your appreciation for Neil's family for looking after him as he looks after the people of London. Pat, if you'd like to just come up.
Yeah, go and join. Go and join him. Give us your camera. Give us the camera.
Yeah, give us the expert, not me.
Just waiting for somebody who's gone out into the ground.
He's filming a video.
The tower.
It's got a Nixon tube.
The Queen's Raven coming your way.
Yeah, it'd be better if the Queen's Jewels were going that way, but...
Let me just find me the. Let me find the Zoom.
Thank you so much.
Nice smile. Pat, come on, you got hold them between you. Look this way, come on, nice smile. No, not over. Goodness gracious. Right, here we go. I don't know how to use this camera, but I think it went. Did it go? No. Did it not? It's not my camera.
It's theirs.
Oh, it's not on record.
Oh.
It's video.
Damn it.
Excuse me, 2 seconds.